Hello, my name is Heather Smith, and what you're about to listen to is the Accounting Technology Q1 2025 updates recorded on the keynote stage at the Accounting and Business Expo in Sydney 2025. Our session, the person who spoke before us overran, so our session unfortunately was cut short. So after towards the end, when people clap, stay listening, because then I sort of finish off and cover off the information and news that I didn't have the chance to cover off during the live session. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today. Today, this session is for accounting technology enthusiasts. We're going to share with you feature and functionality updates from the start of 2025, hopefully leave you with some practical information that you can absorb and explore. This is a regular podcast that we do. It's called the Accounting Apps Podcast, so we would really love it if you subscribe to the Accounting Apps Podcast while you're here. And we also syndicate it through to the Accountants Daily, so thanks to Accountants Daily, and a thanks to the Accounting and Business Expo for allowing us to showcase the podcast here today. I'm joined by the brilliant, the amazing Tyler Caskey.
Hi Heather, thanks very much. And yeah, do subscribe to Heather's podcast. You can find it, it's pink, surprise, surprise, on any of the app stores and Google Play.
So Tyler is a chartered accountant like myself, partner at BeanCounters, and technology enthusiast like me, and I'm sure probably like a lot of people here in the audience. He unravels and rolls out big global change management projects. And who here is connected with Tyler on LinkedIn? Yeah, he shares some really interesting insights on LinkedIn that a lot of people like, don't they?
Yeah, don't hesitate to find me on LinkedIn, have a chat. I might be right, I might be wrong, but as long as we share some accounting stuff, it's good.
So as we start, Tyler, how has your week been?
Good, a little busy. We've just finished Chinese payroll this week, so there's been some learnings there, but that's our last international payroll for the year, so pretty happy.
Was it in Chinese characters?
Both. We have a Chinese interpreter that helped as well. So, but it was only like 15 people, so not too hard. Yeah.
That sounds really complicated,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah.
So in the last few weeks, I kindly went to the MYOB, took us to the Australian Open, which was very wonderful. I also went to the Acumatica ERP showcase last week, which was very interesting, hearing about their ERP solution. And I also attended the Xero Summer Series. I'm not sure if you made it to there. I love Bernard Salt, so spending some time hearing about demographics and specifically around accountants and bookkeepers, that was very interesting. But that's enough about me. Let's talk about tech. Let's start with some feature functionalities with Xero. What do you have to say about what's happened to Xero recently?
Indeed, there's a couple of things that Heather and I have been looking at. Probably the number one, is anyone in accounting practice here? Yeah. Has anyone clicked on the client insights in XPM yet? What do you think? It's pretty good. The thing I love the most about it is it shows me what clients are doing their bank rec and how far behind they're on their bank recs. So I was looking at it the other night. For the 12,000 Xero file practice, they had like how far behind, and you can filter that down. That I think is a big change for accountants here. What about you? I know you've seen a couple things on there.
Well, you also were mentioning about the fixed assets module.
The fixed assets in Xero, I still think is the only fixed asset reconciliation and register I've used in my entire life that I don't hate, if I'm being honest. I've been doing fixed assets since 2001 at KPMG, and it was always Excel based. Xero, A, makes sure it reconciles, but B, they've just released an attachment function. Last year they did an update to the functionality and the look, but now inside the fixed asset you can attach purchase orders, documents, all the types of emails that help accountants make sure things are right. So no longer do you have to go through to the bill to see the attachments, you can actually add a lot more in the fixed assets.
And it does actually work, and a lot of times I come across the tax accountant not using it and doing it outside, which is costing extra money. It does actually work, perhaps not for a huge number of assets, but for a number of assets it does actually work, and allows you to roll out the information on a monthly basis, the depreciation on a monthly basis. Yeah. So let's move to Intuit QuickBooks. Just let me give you a few updates that have happened with Intuit, and you can go and see them at the front entrance here. The product and service interface has improved with the product and service screens receiving subtle updates to improve reliability, stability and performance. You can now filter the QuickBooks online client list to show only those with a QuickBooks subscription, making it easier to locate clients and review their status.
That's pretty important, that one. It's the same to Xero HQ. You can kind of find if you're a QuickBooks practice, who's got a QuickBooks subscription and who doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. And add a client code. Users can now assign a client number or code to clients, providing a structured way to reference them within QuickBooks online accounting. So 3 updates there. Was there anything specifically within those updates that you wanted to touch on?
There's 2 I really like. One is projects. So Xero Projects I think is a fantastic product. I use it as a business. It's really good for easy timer recording kind of systems for non-accounting firms, little consulting firms. Xero started to get their projects QuickBooks has started to get their projects together. So that one I think is definitely a good comparative in the market. And the other one is they've just done a little bit of automation around their payees. So QuickBooks has never been great on duplicating payees and suppliers, and now they're doing a bit more suggesting of suppliers, very similar to the Xero and MYOB kind of base, which stops you having like 50,000 contacts and duplicates in there. So just little tweaks to their online universe, which I think are kind of needed to stay up with the market.
Absolutely. So jumping to MYOB, they have introduced a screen lock reminder, which is for security. A notification will appear 5 minutes before inactivity locks the screen out and reports, allowing users to resume work before being signed out.
I love that because I hate getting locked out. I think that's good for MYOB, and I think every app should give us a little notice that we're about to get locked. So really smart.
And bank reminders. The Banking Hub will now display reminders if any bank account details are missing, such as the financial institutions, helping ensure account information is complete.
That's really good for making sure that ABA files go through correctly, contacts are set up properly. Xero's had it for a long time, but only after you've created the batch.
Excellent, yes. Now I want to remind you that a comprehensive blog goes out in Accountants Daily of all the updates that I'm aware of. And let's take the opportunity to jump to the few things that you wanted to talk about, Tyler.
Yeah, so in this podcast, I always kind of give people what our business, we're only a team of 9, but what we've been looking at over the last couple months and what we've seen in the market. There's some really interesting apps, and there's also some little thumbs up, thumbs down we've seen. There's a new accounts payable product called Derive, which is the founder came out of Earwallex, and it's an automated, customizable supplier onboarding and AP automation system. So kind of like an Approval Max competitor, but a very, very nice system. The other one that's a thumbs down for me is Westpac. If there's anyone from Westpac here, your bank feeds aren't working, and it drives me bonkers. Macquarie Bank, you're the same. I don't want to do any more forms. That whole market is just absolutely killing me. The most important one that I've seen, are there any CFO or financial controllers in the room? Yeah? Modano. So Modano's been like a Excel-based, very complex system, budgeting system for a long time. They have spent, I don't know if it's millions, but so much money getting this online. You now have, I think, the most comprehensive online budgeting, driver-based budgeting. So if we're all an accounting firm, I can go, you're going to be 6.5 hours a day, you're going to be 4.5, build that into revenue. I think Modano's budgeting, what they've done, is the best upgrade to the mid-market budgeting system I've seen in my lifetime.
Wow.
So yeah, that I think is absolutely chomping. And the other one is, if you've got any tradies, the Fergus app. So we've been helping a small construction business get onto Xero, get onto Fergus, and they effectively onboarded themselves, connected it to like Reese Plumbing, so they've got all the pricing. And I know it hasn't been like a huge tech update, but the ease of use of Fergus and the way it integrates to Xero, I'm giving it like a 9 out of 10. I think it's probably amazing.
And the trivia with Fergus is it's named after a little Scottish Terrier. That's the logo on the website, and their real little dog.
And I do have my last thumbs down to any ERPs that make my balance sheet not balanced to my subledger. I was doing I don't want to hassle Attaché, but come on Attaché, like we had a balance sheet, accounts receivable of 500,000. We run into the subledger and it's $1 million, right? Because you can do journals to the subledger. That functionality is still just driving me crazy in accounting. Like, I know MYOB's starting to fix that. Xero, you haven't ever been able to do that, but that one's still bugging my brain a bit.
So I'm not sure if you're aware that when you have a historical balancing account and all of the ends fall into that, we bookies call that the hysterical balancing account. So I'll highlight one of the things that I've seen a number of people talking about is XonBoard. It's a new solution that automates user creation, tax file number declaration, super fund automation, and bank details, sort of populating them into your online accounting solution, and that's been built by Super API.
Super API. We use that. If you've got a Xero client that's not on Employment Hero, dear Lord, just use XonBoard. It just works. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and it allows your employees to add tax file numbers, super and bank details, and onboards them onto your Xero profile, so onto your Xero payroll. XonBoard is worth its weight on gold. I don't know how it's
Except
free.
it's free.
I don't get
it's
it.
even better than gold.
Yeah.
Dext. Dext last year launched the first phase of the evolution of the Dext platform, which brings together Dext Prepare, Dext Precision, and Dext Commerce. Some of the updates, they have feature access customization, hiding unnecessary features, creating tailored views for staff and clients, and preview Dext from a client's perspective. They have enhanced their automation rules with smarter categorizations, with if-then conditions, automatic supplier flagging, and scalable practice-level automation. And what they referred to as a quality of life enhancement, AI-powered document support, improving duplicate detection and seamless multi-client syncing.
That duplicate detection is like where Dext, I think, absolutely wins. There's still a lot of people that use Dext, so they're like really putting some money into innovation.
And Dext are right at the front if you need to go and speak to them, find out about their receipt scanning. That's part of their solution there. So another one I just briefly want to touch on is Fathom. As we were leading into the cyclone, all the Brisbane people from Fathom and I had a webinar, had an online meeting together to kind of put the media anxiety of Cyclone Alfred out of the way. And they showed me Fathom's portfolio view. If you're currently a Fathom user, you can turn it on in your settings. And if you're not a Fathom user, it's going to be rolled out on March the 17th in celebration of, not in celebration of St. Patrick's Day.
Nice. It's fantastic. Like, Fathom, has been like a consolidation and reporting app for a long time. This to me is their biggest enhancement that they've done. You can do multi-client reviews, you can do like revenue, you can do cash trends. It's a really, really nice enhancement if you're an accounting practice and you've got multiple clients on Fathom, or you're looking at a large group. Like we do a lot of kind of like 10 to 50 Xero file group connections. Not only can it be Xero or QuickBooks or MYOB or even Excel, but you can get this kind of like summary view and trend view that I think Fathom's done it really good. Like it was a bit of a holy shit moment for me.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm now going to have to remove the G rating from my show.
Oh, sorry. It's not the F word, yeah.
Spotlight Reporting have released a white paper on ESG advisory services, so you can learn more about that. So jump onto Spotlight Reporting and access that paper. Do you have any updates to talk about from May Day?
I know May Day is eventually going to start getting into revenue as well. But like we've been using, if you've got a multi-entity group, dear Lord, pick May Day, or we're about to talk about translucent. Even if you've got 3 Xero files, use May Day for your intercompany. If you've got a controlling entity or an employing entity and you're doing recharging, just use May Day. I will almost have a fight with the CFO to get May Day in because A, it's more accurate, and B, it's automated. But that does lead us very well to translucent, our next one. So translucent and May Day are having the George Foreman, Mike Tyson kind of fight of all battles to get into multi-entity. May Day is fantastic at 3 things. Translucent is trying to be fantastic at 10 things. The one what they started with was additional tracking categories, because we know Xero's got 2 tracking categories. They're now allowing you to go up to 6. And I've been clicking and testing this. And it works, but it means everything you do is inside translucent after that. So what do you think about that, Heather?
Well, I guess if it stops you having to move to a $100,000 ERP solution, I can live with it if I want that.
Agreed. Both of them are worth looking if you've got any consolidated groups.
Excellent. Employment Hero, would you like to touch on that before we wrap
Definitely.
up?
2 things worth knowing. Employment Hero is trying to get into the expense world. They've had it for a long time. I reckon Employment Hero is not too far away from releasing cards, very similar to Rippling does in America. And they've also improved their organization chart. It is way nicer to use. It's always been there with primary managers, but the way you can visualize it and drag and drop and move that is really good. Just nice little improvements from Employment Hero.
Thank you. So this is a real taster of what the podcast is like. It's a 90-minute podcast. We like to finish with, where will I see you next, Tyler? What's coming up on your horizon? Do you want me to respond first while you think about it?
No, I know. You'll probably see me on the beach in Bondi. We went live with an accounting firm on the 1st of January, which I don't recommend ever doing. So this month and next is going to be a bit more chilled for me. But I'm online, on LinkedIn, everywhere.
Fabulous. Okay, so in April, I'm actually traveling to Canada for two weeks. And then in June, we have the Accountants Daily Conference and Expo on the Friday, the 20th of June, followed by the Accountants Daily Australian Accounting Awards that evening. So I do encourage you to consider that as option, both as the Expo and entering the awards. Tropical Innovation Festival, which is the most awesome festival. It's not necessarily focused on accountants and bookkeepers, it's focused on startups. That's in Cairns from the 23rd to the 27th of June. And you actually get to go out in the tropical Great Barrier Reef and do entrepreneurial stuff, as well as dive. Nice. And you get surrounded by millionaires and billionaires. It's a very awesome conference.
I'll give one more plug for Heather's podcast. It's the one accounting podcast, no offence, that I listen to on
he pointed to the half a drunk accountant.
every time it comes out. I think making sure we stay up to date with tech as accountants and CFOs, financial controllers to in-practice accountants is super important. It's my way to get a sniff test of what I need to do a deeper dive in. So don't hesitate to give it a subscribe. Honestly, I reckon I learn 1 or 2 little snippets every time.
Thank you so much, Tyler, for joining me on the show today, joining us at the Accounting Apps podcast. Very much appreciative of Tyler Caskey's time. I will highlight, please subscribe to the Two Drunk Accountants podcast.
And
say hello to Dan as well. He's up here at the front. He's a bit of a star himself. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Heather. As I explained, our session was ended early, unfortunately. So I'm just going to continue what we wanted to talk about just on my own in terms of the accounting technology updates. So let me start. I do like that the practice management solution, Karbon, produces an annual top 10 feature recap. And I do think that all accounting technology should do this. Maybe a top 10 feature recap of the year and then quarterly recaps if they want to give us a chance of keeping keeping up with their releases. A few of the 2024 feature releases include, from Karbon, this is, exporting client requests as PDFs, improvements to insights reporting, KPI reporting integrated with Karbon, improvements to triage features, including list and swipe view options. And also I encourage you to go and connect with Brian Clare, that's Brian Clare, Clare. He's based in Canada, and he has created a Chrome extension for Karbon, which he has posted on his LinkedIn profile. So connect with him and you should be able to find that. It went out early April. Creditor Watch has improved its IP address validation capability, and it also now checks the domain age. The AP and AR Solution Approval Max has released the ability to capture purchase orders, the option to put requests on hold, and the ability to nudge approvers to remind them to take action. The Workflow Max by Blue Rocks has released improvements to custom reporting, quoting, and estimating. Plus, it now has Suite Files integration. Let's shift gear and cover some of the updates in the vast ecosystem. The Stock Portfolio Tracker Solutions share site has released a drawdown risk report, upgraded its contribution analysis report, and approved its historical cost report. The Auto Shop Workshop software now includes complete booking management in its mobile app. The rental software solution, Easy Rent Out, has released enhancements to streamline order management with inline actions in the opportunity pipeline, recommended web store items, and customizable field orders. So, the Q1 accounting technology updates have been coming in thick and fast. What's happening in Q2? I encourage you to catch Tyler Caskey speaking at the CFO event Stack 2025 on the 8th of May in Sydney. I'll be heading north to celebrate innovation, entrepreneurship and investment in far north Queensland at the Tropical Innovation Festival. And I shall be watching with FOMO, the Accountants Daily Accounting Conference and the Australian Accounting Awards happening in Sydney on the 20th of June. So good luck to all finalists. Make me proud. And finally, if you do represent accounting technology and feel that you're missing from these updates, feel free to send me an RSS active blog feed for me to monitor. Thank you so much for listening. I encourage you to stay up to date with accounting technology news by connecting with Tyler Caskey and Heather Smith on LinkedIn.